Hey, hello,
Hello.
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 Oh, okay.
Are we back?
We're back.
All right.
Just like that.
Yes.
Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our Sunday night offering of astronomy outreach and edutainment, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show.
Yay.
Yay! First of all, I'd like to welcome back. Which one do I want to welcome back? I'll welcome back
Whichever
Paul.
one you want. The handsome one.
Yeah, which one's? I already did myself. So, yeah. Our two co-hosts this evening, Mr. Paul Owen from the Moonshadow Observatory in Hampton. Paul, good evening, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, and Mr. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory here in St. John. Hey, Mike.
Not out of here.
I picked the handsome one, didn't I? Sorry, Mike. You're on the second one on my list, sir.
He's not handsome.
It's all right here, see?
Yeah. No black order.
He's not handsome. He's handy.
Okay, well, on tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show, now telescope mounts move in two ways, usually either something called alt-as or equatorial. Alt-as mounts provide simple up, down, and left to right movement, making them ideal for casual visual astronomy and beginners, though they do require constant adjustment to track objects as Earth rotates. Equatorial mounts, though, on the other hand, have, after polar alignment, tilt one axis to the observer's latitude, allowing single axis motion to perfectly track stars as Earth turns, preventing field rotation and making them superior for astrophotography and long exposure observations. But if you're interested in astrophotography and you own an alt-as mount, can it be adapted to be used as an equatorial mount? That's the answer will be on tonight's topic, and that'll be offered by Mike with little bits of cut-in, I'm sure, from Paul. So I'm just going to sit and watch that. I'm just the observer. So anyway, that's that part.
I'll just sit and look pretty.
Okay. You can try your best. Also tonight, Vinyl Bud will return with another fine binocular target of the week. Yay! Look kind of low.
He's pretty.
Tonight. Yeah. Paul will deliver another interesting Rosanna's Fun Fact episode tonight. I'll offer a review of what's up this week. Just a couple of things that I want to keep an eye on this week. And I'll have all of your wonderful photo submissions to share as well, of course. So sit back and enjoy. And remember, this is a family-friendly, interactive live broadcast. So offer your comments here, and I'll be watching them on both screens. And anyway, let's get started then with our talk tonight. Changing an alt-as mount into an EQ mount for astrophotography.
I was going to say, why would I want to do that? Let me see. Why can't I?
Maybe somebody could just comment on my volume, make sure my volume is up. I know I had a problem last week with it, but it should be okay this week.
All right.
Won't let me move my screen. What is that?
Let me find you. Book of Faith.
There we go. Now I can move my screen. Alrighty. I'm going to present something here, if it works. Where is present? And I want to pull up the screen. And I'll pull up the tab. All right. You see that?
Yep.
Ken.
Awesome. That should have been the picture for the show tonight.
It was.
Thinking here, Alt-Az mount into an equatorial. And of course, yeah, that's how it normally goes. I'm doing all the work, and you two are going, "What's he doing?" Well, I don't know. Rosanna's in the background going, "I don't know." Anyway, these are your typical, what we look at as Alt-Az mounts. And the reason we're talking about this is not for visual viewing, because it doesn't really matter what you use, but it is for astrophotography if you want to do like long exposure astrophotography. Not for visual. Visual, it doesn't matter what you got. It's all enjoyable anyway. But these are just some examples of typical Alt-Az mounts. The newer AZ GTI. There's a CPC model with a twin arm. Meade makes a two arm model as well. And then, of course, your single arm with like the 6SE or the Evolution mounts, right? Things like that. They're just typical go-to Alt-Az mounts. But why would I want to switch to equatorial for astrophotography? And the real reason is called field rotation. So what is field rotation? Field rotation in astrophotography is the apparent twisting of the celestial object's orientation within a camera's field of view due to the Earth's rotation, primarily occurring with altitude azimuth mounts or Alt-Az mounts that track objects by moving up and down and left and right only. This effect causes stars and objects to appear as arcs rather than points over long exposures, making it difficult to combine images from different nights and necessitating equatorial mounts or field derotators to do some deep sky imaging. That's a simple explanation. Excuse me. Here's just a couple of examples of field rotation, typical star trails. How is that an example of field rotation? Well, say this was the Orion Nebula or the Orion constellation here. It's facing one direction. If you're photographing the whole night, by the time you hit halfway through the night, it's up and down. It's not facing to the right or side anymore. And by the end of the night, it's over here on this side. So it's actually flipped from one side to the other through the run of a whole single night. If you look at Alt-Az images, when you get into field rotation, you can see here, the software will compensate for it, but you can see how it's changing and you end up having to crop your image because of it. And it makes it a lot more difficult. Here's the same thing here with the galaxy. You can see how it's compensating for that field rotation, but you're going to lose some of your image out of it. How do I stop field rotation? It's simple. Get an equatorial mount or make your mount equatorial. So how can I make my mount equatorial? Simple. A wedge. One thing, a wedge. Now, when you say a wedge, what are you talking about? Here's some examples of wedges. So for, like a CPC or twin arm, the bigger, say, Smith Cassegrains and stuff, these are big wedges you can get. Bolt to your tripod, you put them on, you put your scope on that, and all of a sudden now you got yourself an equatorial mount. And I'll explain how that works. These smaller ones that come with Skywatcher, like the Alt-Az, what do they call it? The Skywatcher Astro rig. Anyway, you can hook your camera on. It's basically you put it on this wedge and then it'll rotate with the night sky. Or you can build one in a simple couple of pieces of plywood. It doesn't say, it's not rocket science. It's just a wedge. And all it is something you can bolt to your tripod and another piece that goes up at a specific angle. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, why the specific angle. But it is at an angle. And that's all you want to do. And your scope's going to mount to the piece that's laying on the angle. So here's some quick examples of Alt-Az mounts with a wedge. You can see there's like a 6SE on a wedge. And of course, the arm is going to point north. I'm not going to get into what polar alignment is and all of that stuff. You can do the reading on your, on your mounts manual, which nobody does anymore, but you can actually read and it'll tell you how to polar align if you're in equatorial mode as opposed to Alt-Az mode. But you can see, there's basically what's that, an ETX sitting ready to go, and it's pointing due north at the North Star. He's ready to polar line. Here's mine sitting in the backyard on a wedge, you know, and it's now in equatorial mode. It's just not polar line. They're pointing in the right direction. And here's a bigger twin arm, like a CPC or a BDLX 200 twin arm. The same thing. Once it goes on the wedge, you're ready to go in equatorial mode. What's the important part about the wedge is you have to make sure the wedge is set for your area. So here in New Brunswick, where we are, or where I am, you can see here on a map of the Earth, it's somewhere between 40 and 50 degrees, and it just so happens that where we are, it's almost a perfect 45 degrees in latitude. So I want to set my wedge, if I'm in New Brunswick at my place, at almost exactly 45 degrees. Now, if I was down here, say in Florida, along the tip, I would want to set my wedge at 30 degrees. And if I was up towards northern Quebec, maybe Baffle Island, and I was going equatorial using my wedge, I would want to set it somewhere around 65 degrees angle. So if you're at the equator, you don't need a wedge. It's set for 0. It's pointed horizontally. And if you're at North Pole, it's pointed straight up. But as you move along the Earth and this latitude number changes, you want it set for the latitude that you're at the position that you want to use it. Like there is a slight difference between where I here in St. John, say in southern New Brunswick and northern New Brunswick. And it's about a 5-degree difference between southern New Brunswick and northern New Brunswick. So if I'm up at the top end of New Brunswick, I might set my wedge at 50 degrees instead of 45 if I'm doing imaging. Does that make sense? I think it's pretty straightforward. And the other thing you have to do is go in and change your hand pads. There is a setting in 90% of all the mounts that are go-to out there to switch it from alt-azimuth to equatorial mode. I've only run into one mount that I can't do it on, and that's my cheap Ioptron. It won't allow me to go equatorial. It has to stay in alt-az. But other than that, pretty much every hand paddle out there will allow you to change from alt-az to equatorial mode. Now, again, if you look at alt-az mode, it goes up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. When you switch over to equatorial mode, if you're bang on with your polar alignment, it only has to use the RA. It doesn't have to use the deck access at all. It will, if you're guiding, it's going to make some adjustments for you. But if you had perfect polar alignment, you would probably never have to touch your declination. It would just go on RA by itself and track that object from one side of the sky to the other. It would rotate as the image itself rotates, or the item itself rotates from one side to the other, so you don't have to worry about field rotation, and it tracks it perfectly. I'm just going to move on here as I close this page and ask if there's any questions out there. I'll stop sharing for now.
Any questions out there at all? Yep, sing them up.
Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? Number one.
I think so.
It's just a wedge. That's all it is. So how would I take quickly a normal mount and turn it into an equatorial? I'm going to show you here quick. There's my tripod.
Can you pin Mike, Chris?
I think I can.
Oh, then I'm going to be super zoomed. I'd rather.
No, or just put you large again compared to us, that's all.
All it is here's my mount in alt-az mode. Okay, this is so happens to be my Skywatcher AZ GTI, and it's bolted to my tripod. And I get up, down, left, and right. And that's all I get. How do I change it into equatorial? I buy a wedge. I put a wedge on. Takes about 3 seconds to put the wedge on. There we go. My wedge is set at 45 degrees because here in my backyard, my latitude is 45 degrees. I slide my alt-az mount on it. It's now at an angle. And guess what? I'm in equatorial mode now. And if I do a proper polar alignment, I don't have to worry about declination movement. I just have to follow the RA movement. That's as simple as that. That's as easy as it gets. If I had a 6SE, I'll pull this over quickly. I don't know if it's tall enough. I'll lift it up there. You can't. With my 6SE, I was lucky enough to get a tripod that has a wedge built into it. So all I have to do is flip the lever, tip my mount to 45 degrees and lock it. Put this back in. And there is my wedge at 45 degrees. Then I go into the hand pad, change the menu from Alt-Az to Equatorial in the menu, and I'm ready to go. You pull a line from that mode, and you're good for the night, and you're good for long exposure astrophotography. Now, you know astrophotography, Paul, and you know field rotation. What I say, just to make common sense, that's all you're doing.
Yeah, no, that's it.
To switch to the RA and not have to use or very little use of the deck.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. So if you look at a German equatorial mount, it's actually got two RA mounts on it, which is the difference between an Alt-Az and a German equatorial.
yeah.
The German equatorial, you have the one that's actually on the mount itself to put the mount on, which you can go back and forth and up and down. And then on top of that, there's another one, which allows you to control rate ascension and declination. So when you do what Mike just did, you're just basically copying that top one and putting it on the angle, whatever the 45 degrees in our case. Yep. Real simple.
You can actually take your equatorial mount in a lot of cases and flip it into Alt-Az if you want to go backwards the other way.
Right. Yep.
That's a whole different ball of wax. Some of them you actually have to take a plate off the front so that it will come fully over to go into Alt-Az mode. And then you can put the plate back on afterwards, and it keeps it from falling the other way.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's fairly simple, but it solves your problem when you're doing long exposure astrophotography, right? That's what it's all about.
Yep.
The easier you can make it with a software manipulation, the better off you're going to be. So that's all I got to say about that. I know it's 2 minutes short, but I think we're okay.
No, that's fine.
Good. Yeah, awesome. Do you want to take a break now? Let Paul do Rosanna first, or
It's up to Paul.
are you up?
Well, I was just going to make mention of the Alt-Az thing, but you know what? We'll do that after. Do your thing, Mike, because I just lost my train of thought.
All right.
Welcome to the club.
Where am I here? What have I got?
We got lots of time anyway. It's only 20 after. So
What am I sharing here? What are you?
talk real
Well,
slow.
if you want to make mention while you're doing that,
Yeah.
for those who do want to get some Milky Way shots, get out now, because over the course of the next couple of weeks, it's going to start disappearing into the western sky. Right now, I went out last night just as it got dark, and the Milky Way is pretty much straight up due south. So, so if you want to get that nice upward Milky Way, now's the time to do it. Go find a dark sky on a moonless night, and
Moonless now.
shoot it.
It's new moon today, so
Yeah,
Yep.
tonight would be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight,
Yeah.
go shoot it.
All right. Being a moonless night, be a good time to go out and check out Bino Bud's binocular target of the week. So our target of the week this week is the lawnmower cluster. It does a good job, that thing. It's NGC 663. It's actually an object. It's a young open cluster consisting of approximately 400 stars. Lies in the constellation Cassiopeia and is about 7,900 light years away from Earth. So you're looking back in time, 7,900 years. Wow. NGC 663 has two supergiant stars that are reaching the end of their main sequence lifespan. So you know what that could mean? Ooh, if we're lucky. Probably won't happen in our lifetime, but supernova would be cool. How would I find it in the sky? Well, if you go tonight at 9 o'clock, orient yourself 45 degrees northeast, look up, find Cassiopeia. the W in the sky. Look down here. As you're coming down towards the double cluster, the last two stars that make the constellation Cassiopeia, if you made an equilateral triangle out of those towards the double cluster, you're going to find the lawnmower. A little closer look. Come down, there's those two stars there. Equilateral triangle, there's the lawnmower cluster, and back over here. So easy target to find if you can find those two stars in binoculars. What does it look like? Beautiful open cluster. And look, there's those two stars that are coming near the end of their life. So that would be something cool if we got a chance to see that. And they are bright orange compared to the background.
So where's the lawnmower, Mike? I get
Just a minute.
Okay.
10 by 50 binoculars. It's kind of like the wild duck, Chris.
Yeah, okay.
10 by 50 binoculars. It's a pretty big target. You'll know when you're on it. You'll see it. It'll jump right out at you because there's not much else around there. There is a small one over here called the fuzzy butterfly cluster, but I can't quite resolve it in my binoculars. But I can resolve the lawnmower. Yes, the lawnmower cluster without issue. Compared to the full moon, it's the size of the full moon. So if you can see the full moon in the binoculars, you're going to see the lawnmower cluster. And here we go. Why are astronomers like mowing your lawn? Because we're a cut above the rest.
Oh, good God.
What can I say?
Yeah.
That's Bino Bud's binocular target of the week. Ta-da.
Terrible.
It's not terrible. They're great.
The reason why I didn't know about it is because I haven't used my lawnmower all summer. To be well.
Well, that's true. I don't think too many of us have.
No. By the way, I want to say hello to Danny out there, my brother, who has
Hey,
been a
Dan.
faithful follower right from the very beginning. Danny,
Hey,
I said I
Dan.
would say
He
hi last
appreciates my
week, but I missed it.
lawnmower.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, shout out to Dan. Okay, awesome, Mike. Yeah, good target, easy target, like you said, should be.
Yeah.
It is.
Did you get any lawnmower clippings in your coffee?
I was going to ask how you get the grass that high too. Yeah,
Well,
because
you had the cup right down right behind the lawnmower.
Yeah, but my grass never gets as high as the lawnmower. This year it hasn't grown that as high as the lid.
yeah, I think I had
Oh,
my
that.
had my mower out in July. I think the last time.
I was going to take the cleats and bumpers off the observatory because it's no longer a boathouse.
Oh, Dan Garrett says also when you're putting that scope on it, the wedge on your scope, make sure that you balance your tripod.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, don't have it fall over.
Yeah. For the most part, you put the back leg on the back end, so that if your scope's pointing that way,
Yeah.
put your tripod to the back, and then so it can't fall backwards.
The other part about some of these big wedges for like CPCs and stuff, they actually shift your scope forward so that it centers the weight back over the center of the tripod again.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Okay, let's move on then. Let's go with a Rosanna's fun fact next.
All right. Let's try that. Let's see if we can make it work.
We got lots of time, Paul. So
All right. Well, here we go. This is this week's.
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Well, welcome back, Rosanna, for another absolutely fun fact. And actually, this fun fact is going to make you hungry when I show the first screen. So let's just get right into it. So Rosanna writes, "Hi, Paul. Just like the trip to the grocery may reveal some new types of cookies." I'm going to show you the picture because you got to see this. Oh, maybe if there we go. So, a trip to the grocery may reveal some new types of cookies. The last couple of weeks have revealed some newly discovered celestial bodies. Okay, what do cookies have to do with celestial bodies? Well, both are often round. Astronomers are known to enjoy cookies and this. One of my favorite things to do with kids and a glass of milk, or adults and a glass of something adultish. So Earth has a new quasi-moon. And this brings the total to 8 potential quasis. Just discovered on August the 29th by the Pan-STARRS Observatory in Haleakala, Hawaii, asteroid 2025 PN7 was quickly confirmed by other observatories. Earlier images of the object extend back to 2014. It now appears to have been a quasi-moon orbit for about 60 years. And it will remain so for about another 60. Eventually, though, it will revert to a horseshoe orbit, one that brings it periodically close to Earth, only to back away again, never completing a full circle around our planet. Now, what you're looking at is Earth's orbit around the sun. That is in blue. So that would be this one here. Oh, no, sorry. I think that's on the other screen. Hang on. There we go. So Earth's orbit around the sun, that's in blue. And contrast, excuse me, with the one of its 7 quasi-moons. So 46, 92, 19, Camo Alawa, shown in the yellow and labeled with its provisional designation 2016 HO3. Where we go? I guess that would be back here. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. Now the discovery of 2025 PN7 might have upped the number of Earth's quasi-companions to 8. These objects orbit the sun, but in a way that makes them appear to accompany Earth. The large yellow circle traces Camo Olela's orbit about the sun over many orbits. The orbit also traces a series of loops around the Earth, shown on the right. Oh, I'm going back to cookies. That's where I want to be. All right, so here's another way to look at 2025 PN7. Alan Harris from Space Science Institute, in a posting on the Minor Planets mailing list, writes that PN7's velocity relative to Earth's of 3.4 kilometers, or 7,600 miles per hour, is higher than would be expected from the lunar ejecta. He adds that it's most likely just an asteroid that has trickled into a near-Earth orbit from the inner main belt. For now, the newly discovered asteroid bears the unassuming assigned name of 2025 PN7. On the 7 previously known quasi-moons of Earth, only 2 so far have been given official names other than their numerical designations. Camo Alawa was named in 2019 after a Hawaiian deity, Cardia, which we had covered in a previous fun fact, is named by a Roman goddess of transitions. Now, Cardia received its name from an international competition organized by Radiolab, a fun public radio program, and the International Astronomical Union. The competition received more than 3,000 entries from 90 countries. So hope for fun naming contest is coming our way. The fact that PN7 has been orbiting us for 60 years and will continue to do so for another 60 actually makes it easier to study and perhaps send a photo to, like China's Taiwan 2, which is en route to Camo Olawa, and here's a selfie. So there it is there. And due to arrive in 2027. So this is also expected to remain in Earth's orbit for 381 years. Lots of study time. Humorously, the first quasi-moon ever discovered in 1991 was at first thought to be an alien spaceship and the artist's rendition of the quasi-moon. Just like 1991 VG, researchers have grouped 2025 PN7 into the Arjuna category, a small collection of asteroids that resonate with Earth's orbit but don't actually orbit our planet. Some, like PN7, come close enough to be temporarily caught by Earth's gravity, becoming what we call mini-moons. This one keeps its distance ranging anywhere from 4.5 to 59 kilometers above, 59 million, kilometers above Earth. And another newly discovered celestial body, Comet C2025R2 Swan, was discovered on September the 12th by the solar wind Anisotrophes Swan instrument on the Solar Wind and Heliospheric Observatory, SOHO. The comet is currently most visible from the southern hemisphere, but northern hemisphere viewers may be able to see it very low in the western horizon around sunset. It is estimated to make its closest approach to Earth sometime around October the 12th through the 19th. So picture this particular comet, 2025, Image from Wellington, New Zealand, from Brian Dietrich. And fun fact talk about getting more bang for your buck, the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory was designed to study the sun, but as an extra bonus, it has done a phenomenal job at spotting comets. Astronomers using the spacecraft have discovered over 5,000 comets since its launch in 1995. And since 3 is my favorite number, there is a third new discovery. Astronomers have discovered what they think may be another moon orbiting a distant dwarf planet called Quasar. I'm going to say it that way, or Quasar. This small icy egg-shaped planet in the far reaches of our solar system beyond Neptune is already known to have 2 rings and a moon. But this discovery was unexpected and accidental. The previous unknown satellite was discovered during a stellar occultation event on January 25th, 2025. You get that up there. All of this talk of moons, quasi-mini or not, and since spacecraft will soon be landing on quasi-moons and humans on the moon in 2027, this reminds me that for those out there who are still entertaining some doubt about the moon landing in 1969, so, Neil deGrasse Tyson has a great reply to people who doubt the astronauts went to the moon. Oh, a top 3,000 tons of rocket fuel. Where else do you think they were headed? Cute, but it overlooks an even simpler argument, which is, if NASA were willing to fake great accomplishments, they'd have a second one by now. Ouch, to me, that burn. That burn was so harsh, I think you deorbited. Good God. In truth, Spirit and Opportunity are pretty awesome. And Kepler, and the New Horizons, Cassini, Curiosity, Time, and Project M. But if the Earth were a basketball, and 40 years, no humans being more than half an inch from the surface, but it's all relative, and just look at the new discoveries that are happening now, and the plans are in the works. And so we continue. And I don't know if I got this one or not. There we go. To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Thank you so much, Rosanna. That was an absolutely fun fact.
Awesome.
And it's so cool about these things they're discovering.
Yeah.
Quasi-moons and oh my good golly. Unbelievable.
Some of the telescopes coming online now too, like the one that's taking the 8 megapixel, was it? 8, something like that. It's huge. It's a huge camera.
Yeah.
The largest camera in the world. And 8 gigapixel, sorry. 8
Oh, yeah,
gigapixel
yeah.
camera, yeah.
Yeah.
And they said that one of the first shots that they got, they captured over 5,000 new asteroids that they didn't know about.
Yeah.
In one picture. So yeah, it's phenomenal. And then what you mentioned about SOHO there too, that is the one that we watch a lot with the sun, and it has caught 5,000 comets, either coming out around the sun or actually falling into the sun too, right? So now that Comet Swan, I did look that up earlier today, and it's in our evening sky, right beside Mars, I think tomorrow night, next to Mars, within a binocular view of it. But they're both very low in the western sky, just around sunset. So pretty tough target. So a lot better target for southern hemisphere. But I believe it's going to move up into Ophiuchus later on through the year. So it might have a better opportunity later on. But it's going to get dimmer, of course, too. So anyway, that is another discovery for sure. And just discovered on the 12th of September, so that's pretty quick. So
Very cool.
yeah, very cool. All right, let's go ahead with some photos then next. Give me a second so I can bring up another screen here so our audience can see something different while I get things ready to go. And I think I can bring this one up over here. Nope, I'll do this way. Okay, and I gotta share the right screen for you guys.
All right.
Go. Gonna be this one. I think that's you guys. You're seeing that okay?
Yep.
Okay, let me bring the audience back. There we go. Okay, so up first up is this one here from David Samard. David says this is last night LDN 1235 with the C-Star S50, acquisition time of 212 minutes.
Wow.
Wow, look at that, eh?
Is that the lion's head again, or is that?
It's the shark.
Oh, shark. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. 2 hour, 212 minutes. So yeah, we're into. A few
Yeah,
hours
it's
there.
no, that turned out really good.
Nice job. Good stuff, David. Thanks for that. Going to move over to Andrew Sonoikis here. He said, "Hi, Chris." He said, "It was good to see you, Mike, and Stefan at St. Therese Beach Saturday evening. With Mike's help, I was able to get a few photos of the Milky Way." He said, "Thanks for doing these sessions." So there you go, Mike.
Wow.
Shout out to you, buddy.
Well, he was getting some. That's what counts.
Can't see pictures on YouTube. Oh, should be able to see them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking at YouTube live feed right now. Coming back to me, I'm seeing the pictures. Not sure what's going on there, Winston.
So on the live screen, it says you're presenting. I see the presentation screen, not the.
Anyway, okay, maybe there. That might be better.
The delay.
Now. Okay, there we go. That should be better, I think, folks. You let me
There we
know.
go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Learning the Google Meets.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we do it live. Anyway, so thank you for that, Andrew. And I'm going to move on to Clayton Carr's captures here. Clayton got a capture of we had the moon,
Yes.
Venus, and what star was it? Regulus?
Negative.
Yeah.
In the morning sky. So Clayton got that. Hope you don't mind. He says sending a few pictures from this morning. Of course, we don't mind. We love getting them. So that's one. Here's the second one he's got.
There you go.
Shot.
And
Very nice.
here's the third he's got. So
Yes, sir.
nicely done.
The earth shine starting to pop there. That's cool.
There's no pictures. So you're getting them now, I assume, Clayton? Mike says that's better. Okay. Comments are coming in at different times. So I'm gonna assume everybody's getting the pictures. If they're not, they can let me know.
Yeah, we can still.
Okay. All right. Going on to Mark Fitkin's images here. He says, "Good morning." He said, "Another run of the C-Star S30 locally here in Bronte, the Elephant's Trunk Nebula."
Yep.
And
I never get told that one, eh?
no, yeah.
Oh.
And
Very nice.
step over to the Tadpole Nebula.
Well done.
Yeah.
And then over to the Ghost of Cassiopeia.
No.
Can you imagine?
You got a lot of stars in that area, man.
Yeah.
Well, anything in Cassiopeia is right in the Milky Way.
Milky
Yeah.
Way, yeah.
You got a lot. It's going to be a rich star field for sure.
Very much so. Nice pinpoint stars, though.
And
Oh, yeah.
Finally, M36.
Nice,
Nice open star cluster.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Well done. M36 is another accessible object even in urban skies, while the nebulas would require large aperture in very dark skies, if they can be seen at all, or electronic assistance as presented here. So.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark. I'm going to move over to Laura Hagerty's shot here. She said she got snapped this at New River Beach. You can just make out Regulus just barely.
Yes, sir.
Got it? There
Yeah,
you go.
there
Good
you go.
straight line. That's cool.
Like to put a little
Very
challenge out to people. And Jocelyn Anderson got this one. Best she said I could get from Summerside, but you were out there, Jocelyn, and you attempted it, so
counts.
that's
Oh,
counts.
yeah. Well, that was
Nice to
it.
see it. Margaret Hebert, she's not a very accurate shot as the boat won't stay steady. But
That's cool.
But you get the gist, she says, much better in person. They
Yes,
said
sir.
the two lights
Oh,
on the
yeah.
horizon are fishing boats, so she's out fishing. So thanks for sending that in, taking the time to do that, Margaret.
Wow.
It's hard to get that on camera the way that it looks up in the sky.
Yeah.
And so you know what I mean? Like even if you never got it on camera,
Yeah.
you can't you can't replace what it actually looks like by
No.
looking up in your eyes.
Yeah, your eyeball is so much better.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, thanks for those, Margaret. Tamara Montgomery from Bucksport, Maine.
That's there.
Wow, nice.
Another nice shot.
Yeah, got earth shine, beautiful on that, on the moon, eh?
A little bit of cloud just underneath.
Yeah.
So that was the target. That was the shot of the challenge of the week. Actually, was to get that, but the other challenge, I guess, was trying to get some of the. Oh, this is one from Diane Craswell too. So here's another one.
Yeah, she got a nice.
There, she got all three. So
She got all three.
so
Yep.
just got it. She said happened to take a look out the window when I got up this morning, so I grabbed my camera quick. There you go.
Yep. You see earth shine as well.
Yep. Nicely done, Diane.
Yep, good job.
Okay, I'm going to move on from there to some aurora captures. I can't share them all because I think I had 130 some pictures that were shared on my page. It was like crazy, but awesome to see that. But I thought the show was going to be a lot shorter. I was going to have less time tonight, but actually have more time. But I'm going to show the ones that I did capture anyway. So here's a few. Here's one from Pamela Jean. She said, my favorite from last night. She said Grand Falls, New Brunswick, from the end of my driveway.
Wow,
Not
nice.
bad from the end of your driveway.
This was last week, last
Yep.
Sunday night.
Yep.
14th, 15th.
14th, 15th, yeah. So nice shot,
Beautiful.
yeah. And this is one from Bonnie Lee Armstrong. She says about 1:30 a.m. From Waterside, Albert County.
That's Susan Kovacs.
Oh, it is. I'm sorry, Susan Kovacs. It is from her yard in Magundy. Magundy, I'll say. Magundy.
Close
Okay.
enough.
Close enough. Did I miss? No, there's Pamela Jeans. I just got them in the wrong order here. Still nice shot.
No,
Yep.
no, absolutely.
Kevin
you know-
Roberts here, Herb's Cove, Belle Isle Bay.
Yes,
I
sir.
like the I like when there's clouds involved with it.
Yeah.
It really makes it dramatic.
Nicely done.
Maybe not quite that many, but
And Donna Davis here,
Oh, nice. I love the spikes.
9:55. She's Upper Kingsclear over the Mactaquac Head Pond.
Right on.
Could see subtle brightness in the area of the green band with the naked eye.
That's funny because everybody's got the Big Dipper in the shot. That's a little bit to the west as opposed to north.
True. Yeah.
yeah.
So most of when I was down at the river, most of it was starting to show up and move to the west. It was really cool.
Right. All right. Go from there to Jean Daigle,
Nice.
Jean-Charles Daigle, at Pointe Sapin, New Brunswick.
Wow.
No, look at the rays there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
I mean,
ribbons.
it wasn't expected to be a big show. It was just kind of out of the blue. The solar wind was high because of the coronal hole that was there.
Yeah.
It was
Where was this one, Chris? This from John Daigle?
Pointe Sapin, which is
That's north.
Up
Quite a
around,
bit.
yeah.
Is it up by? Is that north New Brunswick
I
or?
think it's up around Caracat area, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
It's because if you look at these, the further north they get, then the more you start to see the separation from the aurora to the horizon,
Right.
and you start to see more definition in the green. Like you actually start to see the bands.
Mm.
So if you go way up, where people go to, Norway or places like that, where you can actually see the aurora, they actually separate from the horizon,
Right.
and the bottom of them is quite a ways up in the sky, and then that's where you see all those nice candy ribbon looks and all that stuff, right? So when I seen this one, I'm starting to see hints of that, right?
Kind of makes you think you're on a round ball. Like,
Yeah,
kind
right.
of makes you think you're on a globe, right?
I'm not going there.
Because they're higher as you go farther north, they get higher in the sky.
Yeah,
Anyway, beautiful shot. Thank you.
Yeah. indeed.
Mary Craig's capture here from St. Andrews.
Nice. Love the red way up.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nice foreground.
nice. Yeah. And finally, Diane Croswell's another capture here from Penfield around 11:30. She says.
I'm really surprised where they are, how much they get to see that.
It was pretty active, actually. I was
That's
surprised.
fantastic.
It wasn't what we had a year ago, but it was quite a show, actually, when you start to see the spikes naked eye. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can make it go, wow, that's really an aurora there.
See,
Well,
I
I
don't think-
wonder how much Diane got to see. It'd be interesting if she chimes in if she's watching
Mm.
to see how much of that she actually saw naked eye.
Yeah, would be.
because that's a lot of activity there.
She's taken a lot of pictures at this locate, like in Penfield and around St. George area too, right?
Yeah,
But, and she gets some really nice captures. She actually had a video there too. I couldn't share the video because I couldn't get it downloaded, but I've got this still image anyway. But she has some nice dark skies where she is for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now,
We look like fog dancing.
yeah, and I think the moon was coming up shortly after this. It was that third quarter moon, so the moon was coming up quite late. But if you're out tonight and you had a view, or they're talking about maybe a view tomorrow night, possibly, right?
Actually, tonight at just after midnight.
Oh, tonight after midnight. Okay.
Yeah, it's tomorrow at 3, so at minus 4 hours.
Yeah.
Tonight just after midnight.
So
It's only a G1, but
keep an eye on your apps because I'm not seeing anything on the apps yet that is calling for much. Like the solar wind is okay. Well, the BZ is just headed south, which is good. The speed is at 311, so it's not really high. Like we had 700 when this was going on, right? So
it's not going to even be what we had that night. And that night I wasn't expecting any either, but I thought, sometimes seeing people up north getting shots, I'm going to take a shot and run down to the water and see what happens. And sure enough, there it was.
You know, for some reason too, there are more chances for aurora around the equinox as well.
Yeah.
So we're at that tomorrow, right? So,
Yeah, well, that's tomorrow.
yeah. Anyway, awesome photos, Mr. Paul Owen.
Oh,
From your yard, Paul. What's all these things here? What's all these lines?
That's
Isn't it funny?
the lens, baby. I don't know.
I was going through, I don't remember where I saw it, but anyway, a fellow took this photo. He took a photo, pointed the camera, lowered the horizon, and he left it on for an hour. And you could hardly see any detail other than streaks. Yes.
Really?
Wow.
And there's thousands of them.
Yeah.
And he captured it. It was unbelievable. But anyway, so when you're looking at these things, you're looking at satellites flying through. So this is going right out my front door, looking across to my neighbor, and there's one street light on to the, I guess it would be if you're looking at the screen to the left, and then of course their lights are pushing right at me, and I'm just on my driveway, and I'm looking straight at their house. But I know that the Milky Way is pretty much right up over at their place because I look for the teapot. So if you go down to the bottom, you can see the teapot. I'm using my mouse. You have to use your own. You know where the teapot is. It's right in the trees, right?
Yeah. Well, down here.
Yeah.
There's Francis.
You can see the handle. Go to your left, right there. Your hand is over the handle. There's the handle of the teapot.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know that's there. So I know the steam's coming out of her. So, and it was right over their house. I said, that's perfect. So I'll put my camera there and just took one, 20-second exposure and there you go. And this is, and the brightness you're seeing at the bottom, I'm shooting right over the town of Hampton. So that's the Hampton glow, the street lights, their lights, and you were still able to capture a decent Milky Way.
Yeah.
So, for those who are saying, I got to get out to the deepest, darkest skies, well, you will get better results. But don't, if you can see the sky and the stars and a lot of the smaller stars around the bigger ones, chances are you can get a Milky Way shot.
Yeah.
So
we're all only 20 minutes away from a spot like that anyway. Most of us anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
30 minutes away at the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, can you crop those out, Paul, or like the satellites? What would you do with something like that?
Oh yeah, I just left them in because I find them interesting because I
Right.
find that's what's happening in our night sky in the times we live is this much activity besides our celestial bodies. There are man-made celestial bodies that are up there now.
Yeah.
And that's just life. So I said, you know what? I'm going to leave them in there just to show within 20 seconds in that small part of the sky how much satellite activity.
And that's just
there
20
is.
seconds. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real nice shot though.
Yeah. Thanks.
And this one from Mr. Mike from the beach last night.
From the beach, yeah.
St. George Beach.
I was surprised to see it as clear as we did from the beach.
Yeah.
Those were 8-second shots.
8-second shots. Okay. Yeah.
How was the moisture?
Good. There was very little that I thought.
The telescope had no dew on it at all after a few hours. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, not a cloud in the sky, not a moon in the sky, and no moisture in the air. It was gorgeous.
It was nice.
Oh,
Saturn took a little while to get some nice viewing of it, but once it got up high, it was really crystal clear.
You can see the prancing pony?
Did?
Yeah.
And there. Oh, yeah, I got it on
sir.
the screen. There it is, right there. Yeah.
Oh, if you had to point your camera just a little more to the right, you would
Yeah.
have gotten Antares and that whole row of fucus area.
I did in a couple other pictures.
Oh, you did get it. Okay, perfect.
Oh yeah, I shipped it over. I got kind of a sweep.
Oh, awesome.
Our issue there is that there's a business that has lights that are shining directly onto the beach now.
Yeah.
So it's causing a real issue for us to set up there. I mean, we know that I don't go there for the dark sky. I go there to meet the public, right? Because there are headlights coming by all the time anyway. You know, your eyes can never get dark adapted. But when you're trying to show something through the telescope to somebody, like the Ring Nebula or something, they have to kind of cup their hands around the eyepiece to block the stray light that's coming in, that's trespassing onto the property, basically, really. So, but it's
I wonder if anybody's brought that to the attention of the park, because that is infringing on the dark sky. Even if you go up to where we do our observing in the park, you can still see those lights.
Yeah, it's a common thing around, you know, a lot of places where you think you've got that dark sky, is that somebody will have something set up that interferes, right? And I mean, it's I think it might in a lot of cases it says businesses believe that lighting up their whole parking lot and area at night is a safe thing to do. But if you put those lights on a motion sensor, even, and somebody come by, you know, if the police were driving by, they saw the location is normally dark, but all of a sudden it's lit up, well, that would kind of bring them in to take a look at what's going on here. Make them a lot more curious. So you'd think you'd get better results with a parking lot that was dimly lit than full lit, right?
Oh, but it's not just that. It's when they put Mike had this problem across the street.
Yeah.
So when they put those lights up, they don't bother, you know, cutting them off and having them face the ground. They just put them on and they're lighting the sky up and everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's going on with that place there.
Yeah.
And Mike, you had that issue, and you took care of it.
Well, for me, I had a company that was willing to work with me and say, you know, something, you're right. I mean, I did have some advantage over them because they weren't supposed to have any lighting added to the building when they moved in, and they put it there. And then secondly, it was causing some major grief for me when you can't. When you can't sit in your living room, you don't have to turn a light on because it's coming through the curtain so light that you don't need to turn a light on in the living room. That's pretty bad in a private space. And the city bylaw says you're not allowed to light up my property like that. You can have all the lights you want, but can't encroach.
Yeah.
And when I went to talk to them, they were real good about it. They said, "Yeah, what can we do?" And I mentioned shielding the lights, and within a week they had every light shielded.
Yeah.
And it was it was nice that they were willing to work with us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But that's a you know, a nice ending to its story.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, people, you know, fight with even neighbors who put on spotlights, and then even they know what you're doing, they don't care, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's an old school train of thought. You know, all you're doing is lighting it up for somebody that wants to steal. You shut all the lights off. Now they got to use a flashlight. I think you'd notice them a lot faster.
yeah.
Motion sensor lights. After a deer walks by 20 times, you ignore it,
Yeah.
no matter how many times it comes on.
Yeah.
Right? But if you leave lights completely off, when you see a strange light in your backyard, then you know something's going on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But anyway, that would be a topic for another night, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Light pollution.
We do some
It was an exceptional night down there last night. We could almost see Andromeda naked eye, which we could never do.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that clear? Like
Very-
it was
very close,
marvelously clear.
Yeah. It was
That's
over the
nice.
city basically, but we were almost able to see it.
Yeah.
All right, that's the shot so for tonight, and I'm going to say that if you have any photos that you'd like to send in, please send them in to astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'd be happy to put them up on our next broadcast.
Oh, Winston Koki chimed in. He said he found a really dark sky at the Funday Trail in their Bortle 2 sky, and the security guards are great if you want to go out there and do some astro.
That's
So
nice
for
to know.
those of us who live in southern New Brunswick and we're close to that, I think he told me about that before. It says you're going out St. Martin's, and just as you're starting to enter in, just before you enter into the Fundy Trail where the gate's blocked off, I think right around there is what he talked about. And there's so little traffic, you can park on the side of the road, and you can, you know, you've got this absolutely wonderful view.
Yeah.
So anyway, for those who want to venture out, there are security there because of the park gates. But it's nice knowing that they're there, so that when you're doing your thing, it's nice to know there's some security not too far away.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Thanks for
idea.
that.
And yeah, they do have dark skies for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to just a couple of things that are happening. Of course, tomorrow is the, oh, hang on, why it keeps doing that on me? I don't know, but the equinox arrives tomorrow at 3:19 p.m. Atlantic time, so that's when we have equal day, equal night. Not really, almost close, but it's when the sun is over the equator. So it's heading south now. It's too bad for us, but they
Yeah.
like it. They like the idea in Australia, so. Seasons change. Anyway, for us, it's dark skies earlier right now, and it's still not too bad out. I mean, last night it get down to around 5, but if you dress warm, so far. This is one I really wanted to take a look at, though, because next early Saturday morning, we have a double shadow transit on Jupiter. So Jupiter is appearing now in our morning sky.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
So here we have Io and Europa, and we have a little Almathea sitting there, tiny little moon. But both their shadows will be cast on the giant planet Jupiter. That's looking east-northeast at about 2:10 a.m. Atlantic time. So if you've got a telescope and you want to get out, take a look. That's what you want to stay awake a little bit later.
What kind of telescope would you be able to see that? How much of a focal do you need?
6-inch telescope, easy. 6-inch dog would get that easy. With enough magnification. You're going to need some magnification to get it.
Yeah.
But I would think a 6-inch would be able to get that.
So Mike's 6-inch SE,
SE, yeah.
is that's what, 1400 millimeters or something?
They're 15, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, an 8-inch SCT would get it no issue at all.
You won't see it with binoculars, but
No.
you definitely need a little bit of magnification to be able to see the telescope.
Because, I mean, Jupiter does appear pretty tiny in smaller scopes, right? So.
Yeah.
I'd say a 6 SE with a 10 millimeter eyepiece, you should be able to pick up something like that. That's 150 times, so.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. I think that's all I got.
Okay, I was just going to look up and see what it would be.
While you're doing that, I'm going to try to get my other things up here and running. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay.
Yeah,
So
they
Diane
tell me
says-
I'm crazy.
So Diane did chime in here. She said, I couldn't see any color in the northern lights, but Haley and I could see lots of shapes, especially in the green area. She said it was very wavy looking. And yes, the moon came up around midnight, so right during the peak aurora time. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But at least you got a nice view, Diane. It looks like an awesome capture there. So. All right.
So here it says 100 millimeter 4-inch telescope and up will give you views of the shadows. So
Okay.
a 6-inch, Mike's 6-inch SE, anybody who's got one of them, you get an absolutely wonderful view of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep an eye on that. That's a good one to watch for this week anyway. Okay, well then, yes. So in closing tonight, thank you all for joining us this evening. Now on next week's program, one of the best practices when starting out in the hobby is actually keeping a record of your accomplishments. And there are people who do that diligently, and we know of one in particular. So many astronomers are dedicated to keeping logbooks. Our guest next week will be Kurt Nason, and Kurt is going to reveal his thoughts on why it's a great idea and reveal some of his collection because he's been doing it for years.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, it should be a really interesting show. Okay, so special thanks then goes out again to Rosanna for her continued contributions. Rosanna, thank you again. Awesome. Also, special thanks to all of you who share our program. We really do appreciate it. Mark Ficken here has been sharing it to about 15 different sites, so appreciate that, Mark. And Trudy as well. Remember, too, we do love getting your photos, so send them in to astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to put them up on our next broadcast. Now, if you have a suggestion for a topic for a future show, please let us know, too, at the same address. And please let your friends and family know that we are here next Sunday night evening at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook to entertain you on astronomy and the wonders of the night sky. So for now then, from Mike, Paul, Rosanna, and I, we wish you a safe and happy week, everybody. Lots of clear skies. As we like to say, guys, open your eyes to view the skies. Keep your scopes pointed up. Good night,
Happy
everyone.
equinox.
Night, Dan.